Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Interval, a musical theatre podcast with me, Jess,
And me, Tyler.
where we'll be discussing all things musical and all things theatre. Enjoy!
Welcome back to This Is Not a Wicked Musical podcast. Today we won't be talking about Wicked or musicals. We're going to be talking about Traitors, the popular UK, US, and Australian reality show. But first, we're going to give you some West End news.
Bonnie and Clyde and Be More Chill are to be revived at the Old Joint Stock in Birmingham, and shortly after, upstairs at the Gatehouse in London. For London, Be More Chill will be performing from the 6th to the 31st of August, and Bonnie and Clyde will follow from the 1st to the 26th of October. So be sure to buy tickets, not too many though, because I will give my soul over to see both of those. Tyler, in true Traitors fashion, would you be a traitor or a faithful? Which one would you rather be?
I think it would be really fun to be a traitor, but I think I would crumble under the pressure.
Yep.
I think I would
I feel
like
that.
to be a faithful for most of it, and maybe be a traitor
Ooh.
before being
Ooh.
like double crossed. You get both
Yeah.
experiences that way, you know.
That's true. So you'd want to be recruited then? You're kind of selling me on that. Problem is, I think I would want to be a traitor. I think I'd be really good at being a traitor. But aside from, Wicked was my first ever musical, that lie, I'm not very good at lying, shockingly. And I think I would crumble. I think I'd probably want to be a faithful as well. But recruiting does sound quite good. Although knowing us two, we would definitely be their like scapegoat
Yeah.
without knowing.
And we've established we wouldn't be very good at the task.
No.
Especially if there's balloons.
Yeah, me and Tyler are both terrified of balloons. Loud noises is more of the thing, but balloons as a byproduct. Nothing gives me more anxiety than a kid with a balloon.
I hate them. And no one's gonna know if I'm talking about kids or balloons.
Oh no! Oh no! Sorry to any kids listening. I don't know. Or balloons listening.
So before we dig into Traitors the Musical, what is Traitors, Jess?
Traitors is, as Tyler said, it's a UK, US, and Australian TV show where if anyone likes board games like I do, if you've played One Night Werewolf or the game Mafia, that's a lot like it. Basically, a group of, I think, 22 people are placed into a castle. 3 of them are selected secretly to be traitors, and it's their job to theoretically kill, the rest of the faithfuls. If at the end of the show the traitors win, they get all of the money that they have won in missions. If at the end of the show there is a traitor in the final group, then they will take all of the money that they have won in missions. So for the faithfuls, their job is to banish the traitors, and for the traitors, their job is to kill the faithfuls and not be banished. As such, you basically get this horrendously confusing conversations at the round table where you would banish people. There's a lot of drama. It's the most dramatic show in the world, as people try and figure out who they think traitors are based off of twinkles in eyes and really, really weak evidence. And it's absolutely hilarious.
And they also never listen to the people who actually have the theories correct.
Yeah, like someone will drop a theory that is completely correct, and everyone will just be like, no, it's Twinkle in the Eye guy. Absolutely him. The whole reason we're doing this episode is because me and Tyler fully believe this needs to be made into a musical.
Absolutely. And this is a conversation we've been having for over a year now.
Ages. I think it's another one of those, one of us said it as a joke and then we took it seriously.
Yeah.
Like we did like you heard in the first episode.
That's how all good things begin.
It could 100% be a musical. Neither of us has seen it, I know that for sure. But like, I don't know if you know, there was a Bake Off the musical.
Yeah. I remember seeing when that came out, yeah.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, it was a short run, but the music was really cute, as a side note. Popular British TV shows have been made into musicals before. This is not out of the realm of possibility.
It's also just immensely popular in general. Truly, truly grips the nation.
Oh my god, yeah. So popular, in fact, that we now, in the UK at least, we now will have Traitors The Live Experience, which is coming to West End on spring 2025.
Yes, this is also another reason we're doing this episode, because when this was initially announced, there weren't actually details about what it was. It was just the Traitors is coming to the West End. So I think we instantly thought, oh no, they're going to do the musical. They've
stolen
our
our idea.
idea's gone. They haven't. So we're getting in now, and we're getting our elevator pitch in.
We'd like to trademark it first, though, please. The live experience itself is literally... I don't know if anybody knows of the War of the Worlds experience in the West End, but it's slightly different to that. The whole point of this one is you and your group of friends and strangers are playing as the Traitors contestants, and it looks so fun. But yeah, it completely got us going, like, how could we turn Traitors into a musical? First thing, though, there's 3 seasons of Traitors. Like, which season would we want to make into a musical?
There are 3 seasons straight, so as of the recording of this episode, the 3rd season we're about halfway through.
Yeah.
Season 3 in the UK. So we decided that, well, season 2 was the first season we were both watching at the same time.
Yeah.
And I still, depending on how season 3 goes, I still stand by it. Season 2 is like peak television.
Oh god, absolutely. Absolutely. There were times where I fell off of the sofa. I was like, it was so stressful. It was so funny. I mean, who did we have? Who did we have in season 2? Obviously Claudia.
Yes, we should have mentioned that before. So obviously the Australian and US versions have different hosts. In the UK, we get Claudia Winkleman as a host, and I think she makes like 60% of the show.
She is absolutely iconic. She's like, she gets carried in by men in masks. It sounds weird, but it's not. There was in season 2, there's a funeral scene. Someone gets poisoned by fizzy rosé. I'm not joking. There's a funeral scene. There's like a full funeral procession, and Claudia Winkleman is so iconic in that. Obviously, it has to be season 2 because, in our opinions, that is the best season. No good elevator pitch or Traitors musical is complete without its cast list, and we have done our due diligence and created our cast and who we think should play it. Obviously, it's worth noting most of these aren't going to be possible, but look, you never know. You never know.
You never know.
The first, and obviously, as we've said, the most iconic, is Claudia Winkleman. Claudia Winkleman should play called Claudia Winkleman in the musical.
Yes.
I don't know if she can sing. I don't really... to be fair, I don't think she should sing. I think she should be the only one who does not sing in the entire production.
So my vision, and I think yours is similar for Claudia in this musical, is she will act as like a pseudo narrator.
Yeah.
But she'll also be interacting with the rest of the cast.
Like a Hermes Hadestown situation. Or like a narrator in Joseph.
Yeah, or Ride the Cyclone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Karnak in Ride the Cyclone, which we will be doing an episode on soon. I love that musical.
My vision for this musical is blackout theatre.
Mm-hmm.
Overture is playing over the speakers. It's one of like the atmospheric versions.
Oh yeah.
Of the popular songs they play on the show, like Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes! Oh, the soundtrack is to die for. It's so dramatic. Slowed down versions of everything.
The experience so much. So Overture's playing, we've got some like smoke going on, and then just spotlight on Claudia.
Yes, but like a proper dramatic, like you can hear the spotlight clicking, it's that dramatic.
Yes.
And
that's when she introduces you to the castle and the premise of what's about to happen.
The ushers need to be in cloaks. I'm talking full immersion. You walk in and you're like, that would be so funny. It'd be so dramatic. And yeah, so she like spotlight hits, she's introducing it. No singing from her. I fully think she shouldn't be singing. Unless she can sing, and then sure, why not? Introduces them all. How would the cast come onto stage? Would it be the same way as like season 3 and season 2? Because they come on the train, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh my god. We could have like them all, you know, like in Be More Chill and stuff when they're sitting on the bus. They're basically just sitting on chairs in the middle of the stage, bouncing up and down to show that it's moving. Can we just have them sitting opposite each other, bouncing up and down to show it's moving? With like a little train thing in the background.
Yeah. Perfect. But the atmosphere is all dark and eerie, although what they're doing probably looks quite
It's
silly.
really not.
Before we delve into who the biggest characters in season 2 were, we need to continue on our journey of casting them.
We do. Who do you want to start with?
Or who's next on the list, Jess? Because we're both looking at the list now.
True. We are both looking. The Google Doc is back, everybody. And I'm happy to announce it is now 9 pages long. The first casting needs to be Ross and Harry, because we had like a full conversation about this.
Yeah, Harry was the winner of the Traitors season 2. He was a traitor. He was the only traitor at the end. So he played a good game. He was very manipulative.
And he played a blinding game.
He's like the traitor you love to hate, really.
He was quite charming. One of the characters that we will get into, they were like best friends. And it was really funny.
Big betrayal. Lots of heartbreak in that finale.
When we were looking at this list, Tyler said, I think you already know who I want to play Harry. So I knew it was Jack Wolf from the beginning, because if in doubt, it's Jack Wolf.
I do have a specific reason behind this, though.
Go on then.
So in Next to Normal, which is a musical that we will be talking about in an episode soon, Jack Wolf plays a character called Gabe. And I'm not going to give away any spoilers because Jess hasn't listened to or
that's in a future episode.
Watch the show yet. But Gabe, as a character, he's quite manipulative.
Oh.
And Jack Wolf has said previously in an interview where, he was talking about finding that character, like his own version of that character. He was saying there's a lot of different ways you can play manipulation. And that made me think of Harry. But Jess does have an argument for another casting, so
yeah, to be fair, mine isn't based off of that much logic. So Ross is another character in there who, spoilers, it's revealed halfway through that he is the son of our Lord and Saviour Diane. Ross just gives off Jack Wolf vibes, and Jack Wolf gives off Ross vibes. Halfway through, Ross is turned into being the traitors, and he's kind of trying to play them because he knows something they don't. He knows that Diane's his mum, and there's like a hatred there. He manages to keep that kind of secret, and I think Jack Wolf would be a really good Ross.
So my fan casting for Diane would be Alice Fern, because I saw her play Heidi Hansen on the UK tour of Dear Evan Hansen, which is still currently touring. And in Wicked Part 1,
I was going to say
she also makes a little cameo as Galinda's mum at the beginning. So
we're not that obsessed with Wicked. I know it's probably going to be mentioned in every episode we do. As a side note as well, you know that she played Elphaba, right?
Yes. But Elphaba's not
good.
a mum in Wicked.
Yeah, I know, but it's still Wicked, isn't it? It's still relatable. Speaking of, like, Wicked-ish, I think it would be absolutely hilarious if we had Harry being played by Jonathan Bailey and Molly being played by like either Ariana Grande or somebody who's played Glinda. I'm not picky. I don't mind. Because like it would just be because basically at the end, Molly and Harry are left standing, and Molly's like 100% convinced that Harry's a faithful, and obviously he's completely lying to her. Glinda is 100% convinced that Fiyero is in love with her, and he doesn't love her. Like, it just feels right, you know? And also fan casting. We can say what we want. Also, the one that I'm standing by this, and if I was a director, I would not want anybody else to play Paul, right? The moment that Paul came on the screen, I'm so sorry, Paul, if you're listening. He probably won't be, but I'm really sorry. As soon as he came on screen, I said he looks like the guy who played Van Gogh in Doctor Who. Tony Curran, who plays Van Gogh in Doctor Who, needs to play Paul. Tony Curran, like, graduated from the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama. The guy can act, and I guarantee you the guy can sing, and he needs to play Paul. That is the end of my... That's my TED Talk.
Miles, also an icon. We love him. He was recruited a little bit later into the game to be a traitor. He made the decision about the fizzy rosé, which we'll be talking about later.
Rosé. That's a full... That's a ballad, but yes, we will talk about that later.
Yeah, he was very conflicted, so he's going to get a little solo about who he should give the rosé to. But playing Miles, Jess, you made the suggestion that Trevor Dion Nicholas, who has been in many, many things.
Yep, Next to Normal, Hades Town, Aladdin. Miles fully gives me Genie from Aladdin vibes. I don't know if that makes sense, but like when we were figuring this out, the first thought went into my head was, oh yeah, it's the Genie. It needs to be whoever's played the Genie. Outside of Miles, the memes that come from the Traitors is probably one of the best things in the world. Spoilers. Diane, when she gets murdered by the poet Fizzy Rose, R.I.P. When the Queen died, you know, they did that drawing of like the Queen walking to heaven with Paddington, and it was really cute.
Yes, there was fan art of Paddington walking Diane to heaven
with "Thank you, Mom" on it. Honestly, sent me. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. One of the strongest memes outside of the Diane and Ross one was Jazzatha Christie,
People's Prince,
the People's Detective. Jazz was getting every single guess right, and he was so smart, and nobody would believe him.
If the Faithfuls had listened to Jazz the whole time, Harry would not have taken all that money.
We've got Jazz, and then in season 3, Kasim, Justice for Kaz. He was also one step ahead, like the nicest guy ever. My fan casting was Jazz should be played by Kaz. Like, they played the game the exact same way, and they were both so smart and so lovely. I would say gone too soon, but Jazz went to the end. What is yours, Tyler?
My fan casting for Jazz is Luca Chadwick Patel, who I saw in the West End last year. He was playing Kevin G in Mean Girls the Musical.
Yes.
And I just think he would be a really fun Jazz.
As if I forgot about the last one, exactly the same way that I forgot they existed in season 2. Charlie and Evie.
If anyone's still listening and hasn't seen season 2, what are you doing? Go and watch it. As a quick refresher, Charlie and Evie were 2 contestants, you know, young girls. They both had blonde hair. Everyone thought they were the same person.
They looked very similar, and people thought they were the same person. So I was thinking like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. Like, it is played by the same person who, like Jekyll and Hyde, switches character every time they need to. I just think it would be hilarious. Or, you know, like those performances where like one half of them is in like a suit, the other half is in a dress. That's what they need. They need like... You're going to say the same thing?
Yeah, that was what I was picturing. That was what I was picturing in my head as you were talking.
Oh my god! One of those things. The whole shtick needs to be that it's the same person, just singing as different characters. That's what we needed. I've just remembered though, we can't do a Traitors episode or a Traitors the Musical without the season 3's People's Princess, the EGOT award-winning actor. I'm joking, Linda.
Linda, who may or may not have survived. When you're listening.
Yeah, we don't actually know right now. We need somebody with no acting experience to play Linda. I mean, imagine if we got like Jonathan Bailey and Jack Wolf, Tony Curran and Trevor Dion Nicholas, people that really know what they're doing. And then there's just like Bob from down the street, like literally Linda. We could have literally Linda.
And whenever she comes on stage, she's always got her script in her hands. And it's always flipped to the wrong page.
You know, in like a play that goes wrong, those kind of shows where like the stage management are in on it and stuff. That's what we need. We need someone from stage management constantly shouting out the line for her to say. Or like, I don't know if anybody knows or has seen Gutenberg the Musical, but it's Andrew Reynolds and Josh Gad, and essentially every show they do, they get a different person to play the producer, a different like celebrity. That would be hilarious.
So every scene that Linda's in,
yeah,
it's a different person in the same wig.
Yeah,
and no one reacts. Everyone just carries on. And the head turn when Claudia says "traitors."
At the start, when Claudia, played by Claudia, says that we need and my only stage direction would be, Linda, you need to turn your head so quickly that wig falls off. So big. I need it to fly across the room, and I need one, like, it was purely Kaz. No, it was Jake. I need only the person who plays Jake. No, there isn't a Jake. It has to be Kaz. Jazz. The only person to spot that wig flying off and spot her turning to be Jazzatha Christie.
Yeah, and it's so obvious.
And no one else is batting an eyelid.
Yeah.
No one else. But like, she just gets through to the final regardless because it's Linda. Poor Jazz is like constantly going, guys, why have we not got Linda off? And everyone's like, nah, let's get someone else gone. It's not important.
in this scene as well. So she's whipping her head around
Yep.
because Claudia's calling for
Wig's
the
gone
traitors.
flying. Yeah.
Wig's gone off, but I need Linda to be actual Linda in the scene, and I need her to be wearing a wig.
Yeah, Linda's got her own wig on. Oh my god.
Sorry. I need her to be wearing a wig.
That'd be so funny.
That's exactly the same as the hair underneath it.
You mentioned to me the other day, how would we be setting this? We started at the beginning of this podcast saying how we're going in. It's going to be dark. All the ushers are going to be wearing traitors' capes and masks. Claudia, she introduces the game so everyone knows what's going on. We've got the train scene.
Really, the first big thing. Competitors all go into the castle. They
Mhm.
sit around the round table for the first time.
Yep.
In our version of Traitors The Musical, the round table is going to be on a nice revolve
Oh yeah, a revolving stage makes so much sense.
for extra effect.
It also means that we get to see the faces of the people when they're talking.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be so well set. That'd be lovely.
A round table also on a revolve, but also on a rise. So it just
Yes.
comes up.
Yeah, oh my god. I love that idea. Like a revolving table. Some really smart person is going to be like timing it perfectly so whenever someone's talking, heavy spotlight, revolve, they're right in front, like centre stage. I'm so here for that.
The first thing Claudia needs to do is she picks her 3 traitors. So I think that should be our first musical number.
Picture this. You've got the like revolving table, it's slowly turning as Claudia's like walking the table. She's walking against the turn, so it's kind of like she's staying in the same place. Everyone else is revolving around her because the show revolves around her. Thank you, English literature.
It's also deadly silent.
Deadly sight. Like you could hear a pin drop, except from the person rustling the bag of crisps in the back, who will swiftly get kicked out of the show.
Dead silence, but there's heartbeats playing over the PA because everyone's nervous.
Yeah, and when she taps on the shoulder, red spotlight
Yes,
straight down.
that
And,
was
like-
that was in my head.
I knew it was. I knew it was. And yeah, like as once the 3 traitors have been picked, the rest of the cast, all the faithfuls freeze. Claudia doesn't freeze. Claudia's like omnipresent, and they all like stand up on top of the table and sing their little ballad. Tyler, I'm so here for that.
Big show-stopping opening number.
Absolutely.
Then they sit down, song ends, lights come back up,
Mhm.
and then they're all looking around, fearful,
Yep.
wondering who the traitors are.
As Linda is picked as like, because she's gonna have to be picked as the 4th traitor.
I was thinking about this. Linda will have to be a traitor. Has she got her wig on yet?
Yes. You know, in Chicago, like the Cell Block Tango, where they're all right at the beginning, they're all doing the poses behind the cage.
Yeah.
That's what I need. You tap Miles and he does like this really dramatic pose. Every single traitor does a pose when they're tapped in the red spotlight and freeze. Linda needs to just turn her head or gasp really fucking loudly. She needs to gasp really loudly. Jazz needs to be sitting next to her and like blindfolded, he needs to turn to her. The missions. How would you do the missions? Oh my god, you could like bring people on stage. No, that's my worst nightmare. We're not doing that to people.
No audience participation, don't worry.
No audience participation, unless someone wants to. They should have like a little sign-up sheet for if you want to play Linda. That would be so funny.
The ushers just rip you out of your seat
Yeah.
in the middle of the show, shove you backstage, and put the
but
wig on you.
That's the kind of thing I want from that. Make your West End debut, but you won't know what's happening. Missions aside, they can change. That's not the point. They could change like every couple of months, so it's different. That would be fun.
Oh yeah.
How would you do the Traitors Tower? The when they go and do the murders.
Yeah, so we're back on Wicked.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Stay with me, stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking Traitors Tower, it's either above stage, so it's kind of like the bubble, have like a portion of Traitors Tower sort of suspended,
Ooh.
like on a separate platform of the stage.
See, you know what I've got in my head? The traitor's table in the middle.
Yeah.
It's obviously revolving and it lifts. Lift that to the top, and then in the middle of the table, like that, it lifts into the traitor's tower, and it's got like a section in the middle where they can stand. We need that kind of song where all 3 of them are singing different parts at the same time.
Like a little bit of non-stop in Hamilton.
Yeah. And then at the end, like it is, why do you write like you're running out of time? They all come together at the end of that song and say the name at the same time. They all say the name at the different one. Brian. I'm so sorry, Brian. Because obviously the cast will play the ensemble as well. They're all like singing in the background, and as they all land on the name, It's like, I don't know, flashing with the like different spotlights in the back. We're very into spotlights here. As they all agree on Brian at the end, the red spotlight hits. Because it's Traitors, it's dramatic. He has to fall down dead. What else? We've got the missions, we've got the round table, we've got
the murders.
The ending.
Well, I think before we jump to the most dramatic ending in British television in decades, I think we should just talk about some of the iconic things in
my god, yeah.
season 2. So I have some miscellaneous notes.
Amazing.
I'm going to start with Charlie and Evie, everyone's favourite singular person.
Yep.
So Charlie and Evie, they are in the ensemble throughout the show, but at some point, I want to say probably during Act 2, they're going to snap because everyone's thinking they're the same person, and they're going to get a powerful, I've written duet, obviously it can just be a solo number.
Like a Jekyll and Hyde. Like,
yes.
Yeah, if you know Jekyll and Hyde, you know the song I'm talking about. I live inside you forever.
We're going to get a powerful little number from them that's very reminiscent of Never Shutting Up Again from Heathers.
Yes! Yes!
Which is when the Heather that is constantly told to shut up Heather throughout the show finally snaps and says, "No, Veronica, you shut up!" and then she goes into like the best number.
I will never shut up. Oh, what tune! Yes, I know, I love that. I love that so much.
My other song ideas for Charlie and Evie are early in Act 1. I would like one of them to sing "I'm Not That Girl" from Wicked.
Oh.
And the other will get "I'm Not That Girl" reprise when the other one of them is either murdered or banished, because I honestly can't remember what happened to either of them.
No, neither can I.
What was your idea?
It's actually kind of basing off of your idea of, like, the way that we're doing it is very much, it's like a jukebox musical now, but with musical theatre songs, which I think would be really funny as a premise.
Yes.
When you were saying it, I thought of, you know the song "Nothing's Gonna Harm You" from Sweeney Todd?
This is in my notes.
No way. But
yeah, in
Harry
my
and Molly, Harry singing that to Molly.
No. In my notes, I've got Ross can sing "Not While I'm Around" from Sweeney Todd to Diane.
Oh my god! No, right.
Oh no! I've got it.
Go on.
Split stage.
Yes.
Harry's singing it to Molly. Yep. Ross is singing it to Diane.
Yep. Oh my god! But like, please tell me it's the moment where Diane is in the coffin, so it's like incredibly ironic.
Yes.
Diane's got the fizzy rosé in her hand, and he's singing it.
Oh no! It can't be that. It can't be that though.
Why not?
Because fizzy rosé.
So you're telling me that the fizzy rosé would be the Act 1 closer? That like just as she's about to drink it, we don't know.
Yeah. So Miles has got his little. I'm picturing like maybe like a minute and a half little tune.
Yeah. But it's like Getting Married Today from Company. I sent you the Jonathan Bailey one.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh
no! No, basically, for context, please look it up. Jonathan Bailey singing Getting Married Today from Company. The song is beautiful, but it's basically so fast-paced, and he's singing about the fact that he doesn't want to get married. Halfway through it, the priest is like popping through, like she comes through a fridge at one point, she comes through the door, like I think she comes out of the floor singing like a hymn. That's what I need. Watch the video and just think, Miles is Jonathan Bailey at this point, and Diane is the priest. He's singing like how he's all torn and he doesn't know what he's gonna do, and Diane's just coming through the floor and the fridge. She comes out of the bar at one point, like just singing her lovely little song, being the icon that she is. Just watch that video and think of that. It'll be the funniest thing you've seen. And also the guy's marrying a guy called Paul, so we don't need to change very many lyrics, so it works really well.
Perfect. We're at breakfast. Diane hasn't died yet. Claudia comes in. We go outside. We see a funeral procession because one of them has been poisoned. They don't know who it is yet. Obviously, we as an audience know it's Diane. They have to walk this funeral procession before they arrive at 3 coffins, and then they have to guess who's been poisoned.
They put roses down on the coffins, don't they? As they're guessing. With the open coffins, mind you, they're lying in the coffins.
Yeah, they had to lie in the coffins. And poor Ross had to throw a rose in Diane's coffin. But my vision for this funeral procession scene is that it's reminiscent of Dead Gay Son from Heathers. So that is Fizzy Rose and our Diane.
Oh my god. So basically, the plot of our show is the whole of the second season of Traitors, and obviously it ends with Jonathan Bailey and Ariana Grande, Harry and Molly, or Jack Wolf. We don't know yet. How would we do that?
Oh, you know
Go
what?
on.
I think Jack Wolf should be Harry in any scenes.
Oh no.
When Harry and Ross are in the same room, Harry should just turn into Jonathan Bailey. And no one should address it.
We have so many weird bits that no one's supposed to address. If we ever got the luxury of making this musical, the reviews would be non-existent. It would be what the hell was going on. We need a little ballad at the end. We need like a proper hitter.
I'm gonna need Ariana to really make a big meal out of wiping the names off the chalk.
Oh my god, yeah. So I was gonna say, if you haven't seen it, at this point, what are you doing? Genuinely, just watch it, or like, come on,
catch up. We're on the finale now. Come on,
keep up. What happens in the show is it's Molly, Jazz, and Harry, and what they have to do is they have to keep voting people out until they're satisfied that it's just faithfuls.
I would also like to add that Jazz, our people's detective, people's
Jazz
prince,
the Christie.
Jazz spends the entire show trying to sing about his theories.
How about, like, he's trying to sing the first couple of lines. Basically, the whole time he's trying to say it's Harry, and as soon as he gets to saying who it is, he's cut off. Finally, at the end, you think he gets, like, a couple of verses in, and then Harry cuts him off, and they both, like, he gets cut off of his song with them both flipping their chalkboard saying his name.
Yes!
And he's just gone. Like I'm talking, trapdoor opens and he's absolutely gone. And no one ever gets to hear his song. Ever.
Why was that also? Why was trapdoor in my head as well?
Because we have one singular brain cell. We've established this. Also, what we do is as a like bonus content, because we need to make money. In the soundtrack that we put on Spotify, there's a bonus track which is his whole song.
See, I was gonna say he does get to sing it, but it's like a Raise Your Cups
right
from Hades Town moment where he just comes in right at the end and takes his bow. And he sings his song. And
I am
that's the
obsessed
last
with
the
that.
Audience get.
Yes, absolutely, we're doing that. That is what's happening. I'm not budging on that when we're workshopping this. Yeah, I think we need like a little a love. It's kind of like a love song, but not like love for friends instead of in a relationship. Like they're singing a love song, like, you know, I'm talking. I was gonna go into Wicked then. I'm talking As Long As You're Mine kind of situation. Like they're both close together, singing this passionate love song. At the end, you know, she turns around and is like, "No, I'm good. I'm not going to vote him off." Claudia steps in with like a similar Raise Your Cup situation and like declares that it's Harry. I want the most dramatic breakdown of my life. I want like spoilers for Hades Town. Please skip for like 30 seconds if you haven't seen Hades Town. When Orpheus turns around to Eurydice, that gasp and then her descending down. We need that for Molly. I want that. I want the slow. She's like at the table by now. I want the slow revolve down.
You know what would be good if the table could somehow split, and then Harry pulls off to like one side of the stage, and Molly just gets pulled off to the other
my god!
Until she's.
Why
gone.
does that remind me of like Nativity?
Oh my god! Yeah, the love song in
yeah.
That's a love song they could say. They could be singing the Mary and Joseph love song from Traitors The Musical.
That's fully what they're doing. Molly's pulled off of this stage in the way that we've just described, and at the off stage, Molly has to get off of the platform that she's taken off on, and it's just replaced in the same spot with Money and pulled back towards him. Like she's just been replaced by Money. That'd be so funny. Oh my god. And then that can be like, you know, Claudia can do her little ballad. Maybe that's when she sings. The final bit is where she just sings a little bit.
Yeah, we need a big epic closer from Claudia.
Yeah, and then like one by one, she's like reminiscing or something, and one by one each of the dead characters in order come on stage. And like they all sing their little bit, do their bows, and then Jazz the Christie comes on at the end, because he'd be the second to last one that died, and he sings his song. Curtain call, everyone's screaming, 5 stars all around, we're millionaires.
We didn't even mention our alternative. our Claudia
Well,
standby.
if you've listened for this long, who's our Claudia standby, Tyler?
It's Jessie J.
The icon that is Jessie J. Jessie J, based off of the block fringe. The price tag block fringe.
Yeah, she's got to have her price tag hair back. Yeah.
And that is that's our hypothetical Traitors the Musical.
If you have thoughts, let us know. What would you change? What would you add?
If you have different castings, please let us know. Like, we are so here for knowing who you think would make a better Claudia than Claudia. Please tell me who you think should play Diane, because I just want to know. I just want to know. And also, any directors, producers, hit us up. Writers as well, please.
That is our pitch, but
It doesn't end there. We're not done yet.
because Traitors isn't specifically musical theatre, we wanted to keep the Traitors conversation going, but we wanted to give it a little spin with some well-known musical theatre characters.
Like an all-stars Traitors episode with just musical theatre characters. Oh my god, can we add in how their names would be spelled? Because the running joke in Traitors is how badly they spell their names.
That's my first note.
Same brain cell, again.
Galinda from Wicked. She's there, but she's got no heat on her.
Yep.
No heat on her at all yet. Go around the table, vote to fly in. Galinda's name hasn't been touched at all. We get to Dr. Dillamond.
Oh my
also
god,
from Wicked.
Dr. Dilly.
He flips. He's written. Oh, maybe Alphaba can be there to help him.
No. Like, just like the cup in the Wicked movie, he's got a specialised I don't know, dips his paw in charcoal or something. It's hidden inside of his many cardigans that he has. Are we doing the cutaways for their episode?
Yes. So Dr. Dillamond's cutaway would be
knitting the cardigan that he's wearing in the next episode.
Galinda's would be
It's her standing in front of old Cinderella style ball gown, like the before she turns into Cinderella, and you can just see her going ball gown with her training one.
Like everyone else's cutaways, they're doing something really impressive. She's just flinging this
ball
one around. Right, so we get to Dr. Dillamond.
Mm-hmm.
He flips his board around. It says Galinda, because he can't spell her name right. She hasn't changed her name yet. She's raging. Also, round the table, the wizard.
Oh my god. What, Jeff Goldblum's the wizard, though? Cool.
Yeah, he's made his decision. He's written on his board. He's like a few spaces down from Dr. Dill. He sees that Dr. Dillamond's voted for Galinda, sort of glances at his board, flips it over quickly, rubs it out, rewrites his vote. We get to him, he flips it round, and he's written Belinda.
No! Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh my god. And basing off of that as well, there's a part, not in this bit, in like a couple of episodes after, where Dr. Dillamond is voted out and he's like, I'm faithful, with a little bar in the middle. And Galinda afterwards, as they're all like devastated, stands up and is like, I'm changing my name. And she changes her name in solidarity. That would be so funny. It just cuts to like the wizard going, I thought her name was Belinda. What's going on?
Also, in the castle, I would like to draft in Orpheus from Hadestown.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Purely because I'm convinced someone would vote for him and misspell his name as Orifice. Also, Orpheus doing a task. Maybe they have to move like bags of gold from like one place to another, but they're not allowed to look behind each other. Like, they're not allowed to turn around. Task is going well. They've got money in the bank. They're down to like the wire, like last 20 seconds. Orpheus turns around at the last second and money's gone.
I love the idea that like Claudia is telling them the task and you just see Orpheus sweating more and more and more, like thinking, I'm done. I'm absolutely cooked. That'd be so... Or, like, Eurydice's in there as well, and they're trying to pretend like they're not dating, and it's really obvious they are. And, like, she's just looking at him with, like... You can feel the daggers in her eyes as their task is being read out.
My other idea for who could be in this game, the three Heathers from Heathers.
Yep.
But they are considered a single
like
contestant.
Charlie and Evie situation.
Yeah. and the three of them have to share a
Oh
chair at the
my
round
god.
table.
And like, oh, that'd be so funny. Oh my god. And they're all like fully trying to squeeze on, like no one's standing behind. They're all trying to squeeze on the same chair.
They're all squeezed in on the chair at the round table, and they're they're in like the same room. They're in the same taxi. They have to share a
Yeah.
chair at the breakfast table. Heather Duke is like, every time she opens her mouth, she just gets told to shut
Yeah.
up.
And the first person out of them the first person to get voted out from them is Heather Chandler, and they all go.
Murdered.
Yeah.
Murdered.
Yeah, she
Murdered.
gets murdered and they all have to go. Or she gets murdered, they don't all go, and we get that kind of situation. You know who I was thinking? Christian from Moulin Rouge.
Please elaborate, because I haven't seen it.
So, Christian is a like poet reprised by Aaron Tveit. So, Tyler's mortal enemy, as established in the introduction of our podcast. And he falls in love with Satine, a prostitute. I'm thinking we have both of those people. Like, she gets murdered and Christian just goes on, like a Ross Diane situation. He becomes a traitor and he destroys them from the inside out. He tries to, he doesn't succeed. I would absolutely love it if Hermes from Hadestown was in there and was like trying so hard to be the narrator. Them and Claudia were having this proper little rivalry because Claudia's trying to explain something and Hermes is like, no, it's mine. I'm the narrator here. Jeremy from Be More Chill would be fantastic, but I would only want it if his script was behind him, controlling the whole situation.
Tracy Turnblad's dad from Hairspray.
Importantly though, how would you, other than the Glinda one, how would you spell all these names?
Tracy Turnblad's dad, purely because I can't remember his name right now. I think they should just all write Tracy's dad.
Yes.
Oh, I'm Tracy's dad. She's on local daytime TV.
Yeah,
She's regular.
She's a dancer. And like when the description, when they say like what he's in and stuff, it just says like Tracy's dad. It doesn't actually say that like a joke shop owner or something. It's just Tracy's dad.
Regina George
Yeah. Oh.
from Mean Girls. Just because I think, similar to Orpheus, I think someone flipping their board around and it's saying vagina would be funny.
Oh my god, yeah. And she gets so mad, and Glinda's like, "I feel you, girl. I feel you. I get it."
Oh yeah, they could be a little clique.
They would be a clique, and like the Heathers are really trying to be in the clique, and Glinda's like, "No, go away. I hate you." I'm so down for that.
Oh, I love it. We haven't even said like who our traitors would be.
I'm sorry, but it would 100% be the wizard. He would be a traitor. Everyone would think that the Heathers are traitors, but they're not. Glinda needs to be recruited to being a traitor by the wizard.
Who do we think would win?
I think the wizard would nearly win. I think it would be like a pool situation with the wizard. As Glinda's being voted out, she rats out the wizard and he gets gone.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
She kicks him out and it's like a proper little time. I want to think Regina would win. Like, she'd be heartbroken, she'd sing her ballad and she'd win.
Glinda would go. Regina would be like outraged and sad. She could sing Somebody Gets Hurt. She could get recruited, and then she could decide like that's her like Ross revenge moment. Galinda's gone. I'm gonna watch the world burn. I'm gonna get rid of the other traitors, and I'm gonna win. So.
Yeah, I actually love that. I love that. Importantly though, now I've literally just thought about it with the misspelled at the round table. How would your name be misspelled on the round table? How would Dr. Dillerman spell your name? Let's do it like that.
It would be like Tyler, but without an E and an R, maybe.
What, like Tyla?
Yeah.
Which I suppose is actually a pretty decent way of spelling your name, but I'd like to think that like Jess would just be. I think I'd be called Jazz, and I think that'd be really funny. And I'm in no way as high of a detective as Jazz.
I have a follow-up question.
Go on.
Claudia's talking about you, or the traitors are talking about you, or someone's talking. There's dramatic music.
Yep.
They're cutting away to the little video snippets of everyone in their rooms.
Oh god.
What are you doing in your little cutaway?
Oh god, I don't even know. I'd like to think it would either be me like festering in bed playing on my Steam Deck, because that's very me. That's pretty much what I do in my day. Or I'd like to think it would be really funny, because I want one so badly. I would love to be like trying on a traitor's cloak in the mirror. Like as they're discussing who to recruit, it's just me trying it on in the mirror and like seeing how cool I would look. It would not look cool, but I just think that would be absolutely hilarious. I love the idea of yours being like the "you wouldn't steal a car" advert, but it's just you trying to like download bootlegs of musicals. Like you're looking around really suspicious, and like they pan over to what you're doing, and it's just like you on the the Broadway version of Bonnie and Clyde or something, looking around.
It's just me watching Next to Normal.
Yeah. No, yours would 100% because they'd play up the Jack Wolf, the fact that you're obsessed with Next to Normal and you like Jack Wolf. They'd put like the set designers would like force you to put posters up of him and stuff. It would be so funny. Traitors aside, and you can't say traitors because that's way too obvious. What are you holding space for today, Tyler?
I'm holding space for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth this week, which is one of the newest Yakuza game. And it's really fun, and I've just gotten to Hawaii. And that makes me really excited.
I can't lie. Did not expect you to say that. You're just trying... He knows who he is. You're just trying to appease our games editor and beloved friend.
What are you holding space for?
I'm holding space for What a Way to Go by Bella Mackie, the book. And it is fantastic. It's a book about a man that gets murdered and they're trying to figure out who did it. And she writes horrible people so eloquently. They are not nice people, and it's fantastic. If you like murder mysteries with a twist and things, people that aren't particularly nice, give it a read because it's fantastic. And I'm hoping to finish it by the end of this week. Tune in next week where I'm going to be showing you Epic the Musical. It's going to shatter your heart. So before next week, you'll have homework now. It's not like that. Please listen to Epic the Musical. You will absolutely adore it. If you have any opinions or things that you want us to talk about, DM us at the Interval MT Pod on Instagram and Twitter. See you next week.